Hi, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, a place where you can learn how to read and understand body language, alright? This place you're going to be able to nice and simply learn how to read the minds of others, whether they be attracted to you, whether they be lying to you, and the messages you send out into the world, alright? We keep it plain and simple here, we don't get into any jargon, we just tell you how you're able to do it, alright? So if you enjoy what you hear, click like, click subscribe, and without further ado, let's get on to the lesson. Today we're talking about congruence in body language, so we're not going to be speaking of a particular isolated instance. Alright, my apologies. What we're going to do is we're going to look at how the body language matches up with the verbal language. So how the non-verbal communication matches up with the spoken verbal communication, alright? So somebody's going to be talking at some point, right? So you're in communication with someone and they speak to you. Whilst they're speaking to you, you see them act in a particular manner. And that's what we're going to be speaking about when the body language doesn't match up with what they're saying. Take this from me, yeah? This information is how you're going to identify deceit and people who are lying to you. This information right here is how you know somebody isn't speaking the truth or is concealing something, alright? So, as we say, right, the non-verbal aspect of communication is ever so much more honest than verbal communication. And personally, I think that's why we aren't aware of this information, why this science isn't taught as evidently and as boldly as it could be, because it's so powerful to understand, okay? We can't control how our body subconsciously emits what we really think, but we can consciously conjure up some words and state them words. So if you went around just like anyone, if you go around just listening to the words of individuals, you're going to believe what they say, or you might be skeptical of what they say, and that's the end of it. Whereas if you pay attention to the body, they're going to say yes or no. The body's going to tell you the truth. Alright? So what we talk about when we talk about congruence in body language is the body lining up with the verbal, all right? And on the flip side, the body not aligning with the verbal, and that's when you start to uncover deceit and lies. Let's talk about an example, right? Let's talk about some instances and some behaviors people may do. Now, I've spoken about this in a previous video. This, to me, is one of the clearest, most common ways you're going to identify lies, alright? Somebody's going to say to you, yes, and their body's going to say no. Their head is going to shake side to side. Simple as. That's not congruent with what they're saying. You believe the body's more honest. They really mean no. Simple as, and vice versa. Alright, I will go into depth for this. So, you ask somebody, do you really like her? And he goes, no. Whereas his head states yes, his head goes up and down, nods to you. He doesn't even know that he's done that, but his body has answered the question for you, okay? Whereas he's had to consciously take the time to go through what he needs to say and how he needs to answer that and lie to you. You will see this so often. Some people more than others, alright? There was like a relatively controversial like talent program on the television years back, and one of the contestants would go around and ask celebrities embarrassing questions. The celebrity got asked this question by this individual, do you want to do this? You know, I'm not going to go into depth as to what was actually said. It's cheeky and it's virgin and immature, but it's entertaining, right? Do you want to do this? And the celebrity said, what? No, no. Acting ever so shocked, ever so disgusted by the question, yet the head nodded up and down, and this was on the red carpet. A barefaced lie exposed who they were. Very powerful, okay? To take into consideration is baselining, alright? Baselining is the baseline of a person's non-verbal body language. So as you get to know someone, you'll start to know how their body reacts in, the face of potential stimuli such as stress and such as arousal of sorts, and general communication, whether they have some form of tic or mental issues which may sort of cloud the non-verbal communication they give out. So if you know the baseline of a person's body language, i.e., if you know somebody well enough, basically, if you know someone over a decent amount of time, you'll be able to know when something's up with them. Okay. So through there, you'll be able to understand the normal motions that populate the repertoire of this individual. And we can apply it to a global scale as we start to look into human nature as a whole and how they react, especially in your particular society. You're going to be able to identify the patterns and how general people sort of react and don't react in that. That means that this, clash in verbal to non-verbal behavior is going to start becoming louder and louder to you. All right? So you don't necessarily have to get into the scientific jargon and understand the wiring as to why these behaviours are happening. You can simply look at somebody and think, wait a minute, something's not right there. Because your intuition's going to speak to you, just as their subconscious has taught them to, mismatch with what they're saying. Your subconscious is going to start telling you something's not right there. And you're going to be able to consciously think, all right, I've picked up that something's not right there. It's more than likely going to be, an issue with their body language not replicating what verbal message they're trying to get across. It's not great communication, alright? It's a mixed signal, isn't it? Let's talk about another. So, some money goes missing, yeah? And you think it might be your friend who's taking it off of you. So you think that your friend may have stolen money from you, okay? So you inquire, you go and speak to them, you say, hi, how's it going? You alright? Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. From there, with them saying fine, you may see, as we discussed in the last video, a little expression of nervous energy, okay? Maybe a little reoccurring rhythm of the thumb rubbing the palm of the hand. You just catch out the corner of the eye. It's so subtle that they don't know that they're doing it. And let me tell you that the more subtle and minimal the body language is, especially when it's evidently subconscious, the more truthful it is, the more under wraps it is. Okay? So you start to see that already there's a not congruent information given to you, mixed signals, stressful signal from the body in parallel to the comfortable verbal, yeah, I'm okay. Alright, something's already off. So you say, some money's gone missing. Do you know? I'm just curious. Have you? Do you know? Do you know where it could have gone? Just an innocent question, all right. And they say, sorry, what money? No, mate. I don't know where that's gone. And when they say that, yeah, their hands rest on their hips. Their hands come up to rest on their hips. Their elbows are now protruding. All right. The elbows are weapons. They're very vicious. All right. Any sort of elbow displays, just such as the fist, alright? So they expand the body to look bigger and more aggressive in the face of this threat. Their elbows glare out at you like two razors. Their words are innocent, but their body replicates somebody who's ready to fight, or somebody who's now domineering over somebody, i.e. you. So don't get me wrong. This is up to you now regarding the circumstance and the context to be able to assess what's going on. This person might feel offended that you've even decided to ask them. Or this person may have potentially taken the money because they're acting in a very peculiar manner. Mixed messages. So just to finish off, as I did speak about earlier momentarily, when we have, when we say intuitive thought, our intuition spoke to us. We didn't like someone for a particular reason, but we can't pick up why. We just don't like a person. It's because they're not honest with their body language. They're giving off signals which are confusing and just uncomfortable. All right, women are better at reading body language than men. Ever since they were young, they would pay more attention to the face, to the contours, to the movements of the face and expression and emotion, all right, rather than boys who are more interested in what's going on behind, what's the moving object, the vehicle, the toys, anything they can get their hands on and assess and break. And you know what I mean? We're two different entities, so a woman can pick it up, and that's why a woman knows when you're lying to her, and a woman knows when you're cheating on her, and us men can't pick that up because we can't read the separation between the non-verbal and the verbal. Intuition, or what they call a woman's intuition, all right, is a very powerful force. You need to start paying more attention to that gut feeling, all right. The feminine in the masculine is incredibly powerful, and you need to action that, all right. So as they say, you need to get in touch with your feminine side, and you'll be able to uncover this non-congruent behavior in the body language. You'll be able to uncover people around you lying to you, and just general shady hiding of information, all right? When people aren't being honest, their body will scream that to you. The body will tell you the truth every time. Anyway, I hope that was of importance. If you enjoy what you've heard, click like, click subscribe, of course. Check out my catalogue, click the videos. I hope there's something in there you enjoy. Thank you.